Your thoughts?
What? What? Who?
Nice.
Good morning. 9:06. I'm feeling better. Didn't think I was going to make it there for a little bit. CJ Nasello, it's our daily show right here on RiverBender.com, Roku TV, anywhere, everywhere you get this show. And thanks for getting it and tuning in. Hey, we had a great Friday. Sitting there watching the community Christmas tree lighting with Mike Roberts and the Big Z, and always great to see the community coming together and the two media companies, really just kind of coming together and having some fun. So it was really great for us, but man, it was kind of cold on Friday. I was ready to get back home and into bed, but feeling better. And we got a great week of shows for you guys. We're booked solid, and I think we're going to be booked solid till the start of the new year. We're looking pretty good. Today, Rusty Wheat joins the show, and he'll be filling us in on all the latest from the Chain Gang. Then at 10:35, Mary Cordes joins us. We had to reschedule our 10:10 to next week, and well, we'll have some fun in the meantime. We'll take you to top of the hour news now. Make sure you sign up for your daily email update where you can always join myself in the 70,000 plus that get this daily email called Around the River Bend with your daily dose of local news and sports. Plus, with the Associated Press, national and statewide news, all at the touch of a button. We'll take you to Granite City first. A high-speed police chase in Granite City did result in multiple felony charges against 44-year-old LaCourtney A. Luckett from Belleville. On November the 12th, Luckett allegedly fled from police at speeds exceeding 105 miles an hour, crashing his vehicle after attempting to pass a semi-truck and then fled on foot. While being apprehended, he reportedly spit on an officer and threatened to escape if released. Luckett has a lengthy criminal history, including a recent warrant for his arrest. He is currently in custody, facing charges of aggravated battery, aggravated fleeing, and other misdemeanors. Authorities are also asking for assistance in identifying the driver responsible for a hit-and-run incident that led to the tragic death of 43-year-old Pablo Puente from Edwardsville. Puente was last seen on October the 2nd riding his mountain bike, and his body found on October the 4th along Illinois Route 143. Investigators confirmed that he was struck by a vehicle that fled the scene, and his bicycle remains missing. Crime Stoppers is urging anyone with information to come forward with the possibility of a reward of up to $5,000 for tips leading to an arrest. Also in the news today, Emerson A. Bud Schultz Jr., a cherished figure in the music scene in the area, passed away on the 14th of November at the age of 90. Renowned for his contributions to music education, he directed the Alton High School Marching 100 and was a longtime member of the You Can't Beat Experience Jazz Band. Former student Tim Jardin praised Schultz's ability to inspire and challenge his students with a blend of complex and accessible music. Schultz earned degrees from University of Illinois, Purdue University, impacting countless lives through his teaching and his performances. He is survived by his wife, Gail, and his family. At the recent Grafton Country Music Festival, Chastity Nehmeyer, owner of Third Shoot Bar and Grill, expressed her enthusiasm for connecting with the Grafton business community. After taking the bar over from her in-laws a couple of years ago, she emphasized the collaborative spirit among local business owners, particularly during events Like the festival, known for its food and karaoke, 3rd Street hosted a popular karaoke contest during the Country Music Festival, with hopes of an even larger turnout when the festival returns next year. Niemeyer looks forward to participating in Grafton's Christmas parade and continuing to build relationships with locals and visitors. Felony charges have been filed against 56-year-old William L. Green, accused of using a stolen identity to illegally purchase a Cadillac DeVille in Roxana. Here's what we know. Green, who is listed as homeless from Alton, faces a Class 2 felony for motor vehicle offenses and a Class 3 felony for identity theft. Reports indicate he fraudulently obtained the vehicle on September the 25th at Roxana Auto Sales for a sum of between $300 and $2,000. The Roxana Police Department has presented the case while Green was granted pretrial release. Charges are based upon probable cause, with all individuals presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Also in the news today, the Alton High School basketball team, known for its strong season openers, suffered a 61-57 defeat against Lutheran St. Charles in their first game of the 24-25 season. Head coach Howard sought a challenging matchup, and her team delivered a strong performance despite trailing by 12 points at halftime. Talia Norman led the Redbirds with 22 points, while Jarius Powers contributed 16. Although the loss disappointing, Howard emphasized the importance of learning from the experience. The Redbirds set for a 7-game road trip, aiming to turn lessons from this game into the successes in this road stand, and we'll keep you updated as more prep basketball hits you as the winter months roll through here in the 618. That's a look at what's happening around the Riverbend. Let's take a look at weather quickly. 57 degrees. It feels like 57 out there. Today's sun in areas of high clouds this morning, then mostly cloudy this afternoon, breezy and cooler. Tonight, breezy this evening, otherwise clear and much colder. Air quality today is good at 35, but the mold count's up at moderate levels today. Ragweed's low, tree levels are low, and so is the UV index. The temperatures today will reach about 60 degrees, but they are going to drop quick, dropping down to 28 degrees overnight as we head into Tuesday. On Tuesday, a high of 44, a low of 39 degrees. And on Wednesday, a 61% chance of rain, a high of 45, a low of 32. And on Thursday, a high of 41, a low of 24 degrees. And then on Black Friday, while y'all are shopping, a high of 38 and a low of 24. That's a look at the next 5 days. Here's what's happening now at 9:13. It's 57 degrees. It feels like 57. For time and temperature throughout the day, 618-465-4545. This time powered by Tom Lane, your local State Farm agent. Hey, while I have you, hear me out, okay? Let's talk real. What is this week, listener? Thanksgiving week. Very good. You know who's coming over, or you know whose house you're going to. The in-laws, potentially. You know, maybe it's not the in-laws. Maybe it's another difficult relative. Village dispensary. Why fight it? You know, you never want to go into a tense situation at the Thanksgiving table. Whenever you're a little bit grumpy to begin with, go to Village Dispensary. You know, knock the edge off. You go to Village Dispensary, you get a pre-roll for under $15, and then when you go into Thanksgiving, you aren't arguing with anybody about the election or whatever happened in your family 15 years ago or whose prom date went with. It don't matter. Don't matter, because you went to Village Dispensary. You know, Village Dispensary is all about being a part of the community. What I love is the fact that they're there, really there for the community, too, with their canned food drives and so much more. What I think's great is there's really an experience for all levels of connoisseur. You know, maybe you're someone who's been using cannabis for 45, 50 years. Maybe you're somebody who's never smoked. They're there for everybody. They can pull you aside in their consultation area, or they can get you in and out faster than you can say up and smoke. But think about this. That mother-in-law that's been, you know, maybe riding you high for a couple of years now, you're always stressed out going over there. Not no more. You take a $10 edible from one of their daily deal sections. I mean, look at the Green Week specials, and you're good to go. At Village Dispensary, every day is a special day, and once you leave, everybody's your friend. Go to villagedispo.com, and don't forget to tell them you know who sent you over their way, because it's a joint effort. All right, let's do this. We'll talk to Rusty Wheat. But first, let's take a look at downtown Alton, and we'll come back with more after this.
And you know it will.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready, future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank. The local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Yeah.
You know, I'm digging into it.
Yeah, for sure. 9:19, talking trash with Rusty Wheat. Rusty, good morning to you,
Good
sir.
morning. Good morning.
Oh, just to chip off the old block, huh?
Another day in paradise. I brought my sign with me so everybody could see my anti-littering sign.
Well, you know, you got into a street fight, I heard, and the curb won. What happened?
I work out at the park in the morning. I go do push-ups early in the morning, and I tripped the other day.
No kidding.
Busted a tooth out.
Well, it's okay because I don't even. I last week I was looking like I was 18 rounds with Mayweather and Ali, you know, so I'm feeling just as bad as you are today.
Come out
you
to
know?
the park and work out with me in the morning, CJ.
No,
and we'll
telling
get you healthy again, buddy.
You have been, speaking of working out, you've been working your butt off when it comes to getting some stuff done in the county.
Well, you use that term loosely. I enjoy it. I have a good time. I was on my way over to Edwardsville the other day to pick up some trash bags, and I seen all the trash along 143 right before you get to the SIU exit. You know, and SIU is such a beautiful campus, and if I believe it's the second largest campus on this earth with the exception of Moscow University, as far as size, the size of the campus.
Wow.
I could be wrong on that, but
yeah, I don't know.
I won't know if you find me out. At any rate, so it disturbed me the amount of trash that was there, so I thought, okay, this is a good spot for chain gang. I always bitch and moan, but it was a good place to show up and start picking up trash. So I worked on both sides of SIU entrance, and one day I picked up 15 bags, and then next week I came and picked up about 15 off the other side. And so I've had enough with the board members being nice, saying, please do this, please do that, and waiting. It's been almost 2 years now, and still they have done nothing. In my mind, done nothing as far as to help people like myself as far as the trash issue.
Well, and too, I mean, we got, a couple of weeks until the new board takes over?
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to it?
Wait. I mean,
no. I mean, are you
Madison County could have set the precedent here. We could have been on the map for saying, look, this county is doing it, but instead we waited. We sat on our butt and waited for the state to move on.
Yeah. Well, and by the way, it's the second one of the largest in the country for sure. That's huge. I didn't realize that. That's interesting.
Yeah, I was reading something about it, and it just disturbed me, the fact that they're letting that much trash accumulate on the entrance and something. That's the jewel of Madison County, and we're going to let trash accumulate on the entrance of that?
Well, and now does it just fill right back up? Is it worse than 143?
Well, they've got some charters. They've got SIU's got the Diversity Club and a couple other people that have adopted those charters out there, but they do it basically for their resume, to look good on their resume.
Yeah.
And the program states that you're supposed to clean up that area about 3 to 4 times a year. They do not do that. And I'm sure they did. It was much more than what they bargained for, because those trash trucks go down that road.
Right. And that's a lot. Yeah, you're right.
And so I'm not pointing fingers at the students. I know they could do more, but in their defense, that was more than they anticipated.
Well, and now with this too, you were talking about this really cool way that you've been collaborating with some ways for folks to volunteer with you.
Yeah, pay attention to this. If you are charged with a crime or have to work out a fine or something, pay attention to this, because IDOT contacted me and had an individual that had to do some community service work, and I couldn't figure out, because he was not assigned through their probation department. He just was showing up doing community service work, and he was somewhat reluctant to tell me all the issues and stuff, so I had to do a lot of digging with the judge's office and the state's attorney's office to figure out what the arrangement was. And basically it was this. His lawyer said, why don't you go out and start picking up trash? I read about a guy that does trash. Why don't you go out there and pick up trash with him, contact IDOT, and maybe if you do that, maybe they'll reduce your sentence. And so long before they went to court, he went out there and did his work. And once it was all done, then his lawyer met with Cole Covington, who's the state's attorney from the DUI division of Madison County. The agreement was that the guy picked up the trash, and so they excused the issue. Now, I think it wasn't a driving issue. I think he got in a skirmish with a manager of a restaurant. It just so happened it fell under this Cole Covington's division. I don't know how that worked out.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's really interesting, though, because you were on a couple of weeks ago talking about the red tape, that's surrounded.
It's very difficult. Yeah, if you go through the probation department, they'll come out and work, but you got to stay there with them and monitor them, and you just really can't go out and do what you want to do. It's more of a bureaucratic issue. With this, it's a little different, because these people are not under the thumb of the probation department. So if you have a sentence or something coming out, or if you have to go to court, talk to your lawyer. Come on out and work with the chain gang, pick up some trash, and they may take a look at that and just reduce your sentence or just dismiss it.
Or-
That's what they did to this individual.
It never is a bad thing. You know, when you're already doing some stuff, some volunteerism,
Yeah.
some community service beforehand, and you're being a model citizen,
Yeah,
man.
this guy was very proactive, and and like I say, the only thing he didn't want to give me was all the details, and nobody else did either, because I'm sure they're thinking, oh man, we don't want this to happen, because then we get everybody.
Rusty's going to come on
Yeah.
CJ's show and tell everybody.
But I'm telling you right now, I talked to Cole Covington, the state's attorney, and he said he thought it was a good thing what this guy did.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. How can people reach out? Just on Facebook or?
Yeah, they could reach out. I'm going to start a page on Facebook.
You
I think
should.
a dedicated page called Chain Gang.
You should.
You know, just for trash only. Right now, I just do it on Rusty Wheat's page, and it's nothing else but trash and pictures of my grandkids. But you know, I want to separate the two and just
Well, you
have it
need
so
to.
people can look at just so. And that was under the advice of Tom Haynes, state's attorney.
That's a good idea.
He suggested I do that, so I'm going to.
It's a great idea.
That's something that could be a real positive. I think, and time for me to put in my plug for Denise Sparks and Sparks Trash Service. On my way up here this morning, I was watching a Republic truck, and they were picking up some trash, and they were dumping the trash can into the truck. And the stuff was not bagged. It was all a bunch of loose paper and stuff they were dumping in there. And I can only imagine they're going to go down the road somewhere, and some of that stuff's going to be flying out of there. So I just want to put a plug in for Denise, because I double checked with her before I came here this morning. Are you required to make sure all the trash is in a bag, or is that just your policy? And she said that's her policy. She won't pick up trash unless it's bagged up.
No.
So now that leads me to believe that I'm going to start putting a little pressure on Republic for them to do the same thing. If she could do it, they could do it. And if they're doing it voluntarily, maybe they should be doing it as illegally, you know. And so I'm going to find out about that.
Well, and maybe that becomes a new policy for them, where it's.
I'm a big firmer in leading by example. So if Sparks is leading by example there, I think that's something maybe a Republic can follow.
Well, and honestly, I do like that point, because it's one of those things where it shows the local business loves their local environment. Because you don't. This whole thing is, and I've noticed it. It's not necessarily, all this loose stuff is the problem, because people just give it the old heave-ho in that plastic bin. They'll take a pizza box because they don't want to put it in their trash bag and fold it up.
Yeah, and they'll throw their can.
Yeah, they'll just throw it out there. And then all of a sudden there's raccoons that get in that and carry that stuff.
And there's only, in my mind, there's only two people. There's a Republic and there's Sparks.
That's it, yeah.
In my area, anyway. There may be more in yours. But when I see one of the people that will dump stuff like that and not bagged, and the other one is a little more responsible, it just calls my attention, and it just makes me wonder why people keep dealing with Republic when they keep trashing our roads.
Yeah, no, I get it. And you're the one that's working the issue. I mean,
it's
more
not
than
just
anybody.
me, it's your neighborhood too.
That's
true.
true.
When you're writing a check once a month to Republic, just remember that they're the ones trashing our roads.
Oh, speaking of that, I saw somebody on Pierce Lane picking up trash, picking a ton of
he told
trash.
me that. Yeah, that was wonderful.
He was doing it again, though. I mean, I think he's made it a routine.
Oh, good.
And then my road, by my house, actually, all the bottles were picked up.
Hey, Paul Nicolosi, your buddy that was running for board Collinsville, he was just involved in a cleanup, Collinsville community cleanup.
Oh, good for him.
They just did a cleanup this Saturday around the Jack in the Box in that area down there.
Good for them.
Yeah,
Look at that. You're sparking some change.
Hey, it's not just me. There's other people that are thinking along the same lines.
Now, with the SIUE thing, is this actually on their campus? Because their campus is
the entrance to the campus.
Okay, so
entrance to the campus.
Okay.
This is Madison County's responsibility.
Gotcha.
This is not the university itself.
I get what you're saying now.
The university itself is pretty pristine, but if you're taking Madison County roads to get there, you got to drive through a lot of shit to get there, man.
I know you're right, and you're not wrong. So I was making sure. I was like, because you're right, those service roads, and those, especially by the soccer fields, on like New Pogue Rogue and all that,
they do a good job on those.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Okay,
but you get a little further down by the exit on 255 on Pogue Road. My God, there's trash stacked on top of trash.
Hey, how's the Wood River entrance looking?
Oh, it's Wood River's doing pretty good. I mean, I really don't. It's not so bad. They have what they have is more as pedestrian trash.
Mm-hmm.
What I consider pedestrian trash. People that are just chucking, but that's not a big deal. I mean, in fact, I was just talking to city council member Jeremy Plank.
Oh, cool.
Before
nice guy. Yeah.
He's interested in getting more proactive and doing some trash.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, good guy.
Yeah, I'm optimistic about that. I'm looking forward to that. I always like it when people reach out to me.
Well, and I like the fact that you're actually staying up with this because, in the summer I was a little nervous about you,
I was
Rusty.
going to give it up, and then I met with Tom Hayne, and he said, hey, man, don't give it up. He said, go back on CJ Show, keep writing your letters, keep coming to the board meetings, and it's... Right now, I'm sure the board members aren't happy with him. I wrote some really bad letters. Well, in my mind, they were letters that needed to be wrote. But what are you going to do? How long are we going to put up with this?
Yeah.
Stand up. If you cannot do something, I don't know what to say. But if you can do something, do it. If you can't do something, stand up and say, by God, we need to try better.
I agree. And with that being said, too, with the winter coming up, do you slow down at all picking up trash?
I just pick up depending on how much trash flow there is. Just as of lately, because there is no one in control right now. If you call Kurt Prenzler's office, he doesn't answer the telephone. So the landfill knows that, and so they're not responding like they were. So in January, things will change with the new legislation, but I just don't believe that we should have to wait till January to get our roads cleaned up.
I get you. Hey, what was this with the chain gang posse?
The chain gang is just I've just been popping up in various different places. If I see a place that needs to be cleaned up, I'll contact the mayor. I'll contact the mayor and say, hey, can you throw a little love this way? And sometimes they don't respond to me. So I'll just show up. I'll show up and I'll pick up about 10 bags, and then I'll take a picture of it and I'll send it to them. And I'm like, in your face, buddy.
Who doesn't respond? I mean, you're just picking up trash.
Yeah, I do it. I've done it for Wood River Township.
I get what you're saying. That's cool. But see, I think it's so cool that you do that because I think I'm telling you, the YouTube thing still would be awesome where you did a time lapse of all
You're right. It's just that I'm such a small operation right now, but I do take some pictures of the trash that I pick up. But a situation like Wood River Township, I got tired of driving down Franklin Center Street right across from Cutter Park, seeing all that trash accumulated. So I called them and they go, that's not my jurisdiction, Well, and so I just go out there. It's okay. Well, I'll show you whose jurisdiction it is, And I went out there and picked up the trash and then kind of like shoved it in their face, And I'm sure the next time they'll think twice about that, That's kind of my method. It's just a dab and jab type.
Hey, you're getting it done and it's effective. So how many bags of trash did you pick up from SIUE?
Over 30 bags.
Wow.
Yeah. Over 30 bags within about 4-mile area. 2 miles on one side, 2 miles on the west entrance, 2 miles on the east entrance. When I say 2 miles, there you got both two sides of the road and one, and then you got the other direction too. So it actually a 2-mile stretch, you end up cleaning 8 miles.
Wow.
But the thing is, that's a hell of a lot of trash, man. I spent all day out there.
When does IDOT cut normally?
I just got done cutting. They cut they're budgeted to cut 3 times a year, but that's for an emergency basis. They've only been cutting it twice a year because of money. But on an emergency basis, which Madison County did appropriate that money to do, so they cut 3 times this year.
Wow.
And they just got done cutting, so that's part of the issue why the trash got so bad. But that just fires me up more. It gives me something to be pissed about. When I see they cut the grass, now there's more trash. Now I have more stuff to be fired up about.
There you go. You got a moment to stick around?
Yeah.
We'll take a quick break at 9:32. More Daily Show hits you next.
Man.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Dibs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit villagedispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Prime time viewing. Welcome back, Daily Show hitting you at 9:35. Chain Gang, Rusty Wheat talking trash. So as the colder months start to come, what do you normally see different types of trash throughout the year?
Yeah, and I think of you all the time when I pick up those bottles. Because last time I was here, you asked me, "What do you do with those bottles?" And I didn't think much of it at the time. But boy, they are a pain in the ass when you pick up those bottles. I mean, because there's so much weight, you know.
Oh God!
I just be honest with you. I just pick up whatever comes about. It's amazing. You go to different areas, the different type of stuff. If you're on 143, almost all of it is Saran wrap, plastic bags, and McDonald's wrappers and things like that people are throwing out. But predominantly, most of it is.
Who throws out? But see, this is the stuff I
Shrink
don't
wrap
understand. Who throws stuff out the window?
Oh, you see it all the time,
But who?
man.
It does not compute with me. It just like when I was a kid in middle school, we threw things out of the bus window. Like I'm not gonna lie to you,
and they're being very thoughtful when they throw it out the window because they tie that little bag very neatly and then they chuck it out.
Oh, so at least it doesn't all splatter everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, Jesus.
I get a lot of those ceramic dinners and stuff that they picked up, and apparently they finished it and it's still in the plastic bag, and they'll just tie it off. But yeah, it's amazing. All
right, you know what I'm going to push for? You're pushing for trash and all that. I'm going to push for trash bags for the county. So you fight for litter, and I'll fight for trash bags. Every vehicle is going to get a mandated 50-gallon trash bag. So you put the damn thing in the trash bag in your car and then throw it out at home.
As much as you pay for a license and stuff like that,
kidding.
you would think that would come with it.
How much was it? Mine was like $153 for renewal.
You may be on to something there because they have those cleanup kits for the county.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I think we just tie it all in.
Just giving the county another opportunity to spend your money. You're on that, CJ.
We're going to change legislation here. Everyone's getting trash bags.
Yeah, it is interesting. I'm looking forward to the new year. Chris Slusher is going to be in office. He's going to be the chairman of the county board.
You know what I'll say about it, in all positives? It seems like everyone's kind of communicating already, and it seems like they're ready to work a little bit.
Hey, I think so. I mean, I'm very optimistic about the future. Now,
Me too.
I'm really down on the Madison County Board right now, but the people those are just interchangeable parts.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
and I want to say something. I was just recently. I sent a letter to all the board members, and I was talking to them about how important it is for community involvement. And the chain gang was going to be in various different parades, and I felt it very strong that some of you people should walk with chain gang to show that you support the community efforts like that. And only one board member took me up on it. And the 2 other board members that had the elections in this area that did not take me up on it, both lost their election. So I sent them the letter to let them know that. I said, I bet you're thinking about maybe those 25 or 30 votes that you could have picked up. Now, you know, and I'm sure that they are. And they probably think, boy, that Rusty, he's a real prick. But it's the truth. You've got to make the people understand that you support them. You don't support yourself. If you want to ride on a Mustang and say, look at me, I'm the chairman of whatever, that's fine. But you're going to get more clout when you work with the people and they see you actually doing the stuff. So that's what I always say. You lead by example.
Well, and you're right. You just got to get out there and work. I mean, people don't. Everyone, I think, always overcomplicates politics anymore. It's always, this huge. We got to go get to Mars by 20. Just fix the roads. Pick the trash up. You know what I'm saying? Pick the roads up. Pick the trash up.
Some people are not able to do that stuff, but there's a lot of ways they could support our efforts. Just by letting the community know that you back our efforts.
Oh yeah, no, totally. Well, and now with that being said, are you getting ready for Earth Day already?
Well, I'm kicking it around, man. I'm so bummed out at the Madison County board members right now. I just don't even know what
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, I just wanted more support from them.
I think it's going to come.
The county, and there again, one of the recent board members that just lost. I asked him about participating, and he said, I had a conflict of interest. He was doing some stuff for the city, and so I had to remind him that you're not a city employee. You're a Madison County employee. If you're a Madison County board member, that means county events you're supposed to participate in. I know that you grew up in that town, and this is what you think you should be doing, but you need to really consider what your position is.
Well, and too, I think it's also one just to go and honestly, just pick up the phone and call and learn more about the chain gang too. And be active.
There's only, after all this time, I've been. Chris Slusher talks to me. Mike Babcock talks to me. Like I said, Jeremy Plank just reached out to me.
That's cool.
It's just a few people like that. It's just nice to know that they're thinking about it.
Well, and now, are there any areas too? You were talking about pop-ups in town for a couple of minutes last segment. Is there a couple of areas you're eyeing right now, or anything that you're kind of seeing that's a big problem?
No. To be honest with you, I could find stuff if I go into Alton, but I don't go into Alton. I want to see what happens. Hey, I got a hard on for the mayor since they chased that video guy out of downtown. At any rate, so when Alton reaches out to me, I will start reaching out to them. I can give you guys plenty of love. Just got to give me a little bit too.
You're right. That video was nasty.
It was nasty. I hate it when anytime their rights are violated.
Yeah, no, you're right. That was kind of, and a lot of people saw that one.
Don't get me wrong there.
That's the first time. Hold on. In the first 7 years I've been doing media, or 6, 7. That's the first time that phrase has been used on a broadcast platform of mine, and I love it.
What are we talking about? What?
The hard on. I love it. That's hilarious. Mark the bingo card upstairs, folks.
Yeah, chain gang barely graduated, man. So my literature is not up to par.
So with that being said, getting back into it, is there anything, any bags that are not good trash? Like, is there? I was going to ask you about this last time, and I've just now remembered it. Like, when I go to the store, there's always those cheaper trash bags, and then they say, like, biodegradable on that. Does any of that matter? Do you, just from your experience?
Really. The cheaper the bags you get, the cheaper the seams are, and they fall apart easier, the thin how thin they are. I always recommend people to buy those bags with the that you could tie them off.
Okay, yeah, being serious, because I've always wondered that, just to make it easier on you or anybody that's picking up litter.
It's just a matter of, you don't get so much stuff flying out of the truck. Even when you, a regular bag, when you tie the corners of it together, you always have a little opening area, and it doesn't seem like much, but when you go down 60, 70 miles an hour down the road, then it really does. So one of the things I did want to reemphasize on, though, is that recently, or very shortly, I am going to put together a page on Facebook specifically just for this trash issue. I know the landfills and some other groups have theirs and stuff, but Senator Hayner told me that
State's
Attorney, yes. I'm sorry. I said Senator Hayner. Maybe one day. Don't lick your chops. But at any rate, State's Attorney Hayner told me that I could have people that could send their videos. And with this new law going into effect, they may be able to actually do something before they couldn't do anything. So I'm looking at opening up a new resource so people could send pictures and videos and stuff.
Well, there's a lot that you could do with that. And it's like, do you start a business page, or do you start a group, or do you start both?
I really don't know.
Maybe you start both.
I thought about just starting a non-for-profit page on Facebook where people can send, if they want to, just like any other group.
Man, I'm telling you, because I really think that's how you get this to grow. I really think that there's so many people in neighborhoods, because that's what I was mentioning earlier. These candidates that are running for 2025 in the consolidated election, in all these other townships and Alton and Godfrey and it's like I keep telling people, quit overcomplicating your platform. People want clean roads. They want their roads fixed. They want their streets that look nice. You know what I'm saying? And I think that if you really start this page, it could raise some issues to some really bad trash areas.
We're not electing these people to pick up trash.
No.
Obviously.
No.
But there's a lot of things that they can do to support our efforts, and some of it is physical.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, one of the Madison County board member, Paul Nicolosi.
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't know Paul did that.
He was out there picking up trash with the Collinsville community cleanup, and hats off to him for doing it. He's not running for election right now. He's already won, so there was no reason why he had to do that.
That's what I'm saying. It's just I think people care about that though more. I really do. I think it's not any more ideas. It's just fix my roads and I want my yard clean.
Gets me back to my statement earlier. I was talking about. I know it sounds silly about the parade, and it's not a pity party because they didn't march in my parade. The Army couldn't come either because they had their own events and stuff. But
they were busy.
Yeah, they had their own thing, and Veterans Day falls shortly after. But it's just showing the community that you actually care more so than just showing them an outline of what you propose for a budget on, I don't know.
Yeah, I get you.
People like to see people in action.
Well, and I think that whenever you start this page, Rusty, I think it's gonna be huge.
I will stay in touch with you because there's a lot of things that are going to be taking place, but it's not going to be taking place until the first year. And then we got a few more things to talk about. But I was kind of excited. I was borderline to cancel today because of the broken tooth.
I wasn't going to let you, Rusty.
Yeah. Hey, but I kept thinking the state's attorney said, no, just get on there. It's important to people here talk about it.
Well, and I'm being dead serious with you because the other thing is what's pissing me off are some of these parks. I didn't realize, the roads are bad. I get it, but
Hey, there's a big controversy now going on out at Belk Park because they've introduced a new dock out there. They're going to put kayaks. You could rent kayaks out there. And everybody that goes to the park hates the idea.
I am not touching any Wood River business today.
Somewhere along the line, somebody had the bright idea of renting kayaks out there in Belk Park. And I'm out there about twice a day, every day of the week, and I have yet to find anybody in favor of that. Now, some of the fishermen are apprehensive because they think they have a place to fish from.
That's true. That's true. But all I know is get back. I was really bummed out. I'm going to these parks, and not in Godfrey, but there's a couple locally, and I won't say where, just because I don't want to give away where I take my dog. Well, the problem is, I every time I try to take my dog somewhere, he's not good with other animals. Like he's not aggressive, but he's just jumpy, and I don't trust other dogs, so I don't want to go, So I take him to the park. But god dang, there's trash everywhere. There's bottles everywhere at the park. It's like, where are the city employees at here?
I'm not.
And this isn't a Wood River thing. This was an Alton thing. I'm not talking dog park. I'm talking just a park in general. Like I was going just to a community park in the city, and in the city of Alton, and it was just filthy. I'm like, god dang, man, I'm trying to just walk my dog.
A lot of places like that, people don't mind leaving their cups and stuff laying around because they figure that's what the city employees are paid for.
Well, and too, a lot of people
get a little lazy.
Well, I didn't realize honestly the amount of people that and being serious though, that it was like people were burning stuff and things. Like it was just a whole different environment. Like
you talking like burning weed or what?
No, no, like they were burning like just pot. Like it was just like it wasn't like a burn pit. It was just like wasn't fireworks. It was like there was lighting stuff on fire.
Huh? No, I don't know. I stay away from those dog parks, man.
This one wasn't a dog park.
I'm not a big believer in dog parks. There's plenty of open areas to run your dog. And I know it's a controversial issue.
Let me ask you this: what are you doing for Thanksgiving, Rusty?
As little as possible.
There you go. Look at you.
I'm welcoming my family, but I'll be happy when they go back home.
You know what you should do? We honestly, I'm great. This is why I'm a good union supervisor. I'm good at giving the ideas, just not actually doing it myself. What if Chain Gang did a turkey trot trash pickup, but instead of the run, you just got a group of people together that jogged and picked up trash? That'd be kind of fun.
I'm going to give a shout out to the place called Runwell.
In yeah,
I love that show. They're having some kind of an activity they're putting together where they're picking up trash along the way, and they're giving out prizes for the most trash, the most unusual trash, and various different things like that. One of their followers reached out to me and said, "Hey, I'm going to talk to so and so and get you guys connected." I'm not a jogger, but I do walk a lot, and I buy all my tennis shoes from Runwell.
That's super cool.
Yeah,
man.
I like that store.
Well, Rusty, thanks for stopping by, and I'm looking forward to talking with you and see how things go and developing here soon, and just have fun this holiday season.
Yeah. I wish everybody happy holidays. Maybe I'll see you before Christmas. Maybe I won't. Things are pretty. slowing down. And nobody wants to hear about trash around Christmas.
I don't know.
But,
Remember, I taped the last 2 weeks of the year. Well, last week of December, the first week of January. That might be an interview. That might be an interview day for Rusty and CJ. We'll find out. 9:48. Rusty, keep doing a good job, man.
Take care.
Take a quick break at 9:49. A little bit of change more. Hey, did you like my pot shop in-laws live read? I thought that was a great tie-in. If you're going to see your mother-in-law on Thanksgiving, you might as well go get an edible first. I thought that was a really good live read. I don't know. All right. Well, back after this.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank. The local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Good morning to you as well. Thanks for having me on.
I'm serious. I said I can't take any more commercials. I want to talk Pup Kitchen. Let's get back and talk about this. Good morning. This is a great idea. What led up to it?
Oh, there's a backstory. If you go back about 20 years, I was very adamant about cooking for our family. And I think as I progressed, I got more and more interested in health aspects of cooking and what's, good for the human body. And during those times, I started focusing more and more on natural food, things that didn't have preservative. And then at some point in time during that progression, I looked at our dog food and I thought, well, if we're eating healthy, shouldn't our dogs be eating more healthy as well? And sometime during that point, we started trying to feed our dogs some of the other known brands out there that are focused on more natural food and away from kibble. And at some point a few years back, my wife had an interest in taking it to the next step, which was making a food from us making food for our dogs. As she started doing that, she read a whole lot of information and books and what's good for dogs, what's bad for dogs. And then an opportunity presented itself about half a year ago now to purchase a commercial kitchen and start doing this on a larger level and actually selling the food. And so that's the backstory of it. It's just my wife wanted to make our own food for our dogs and to ensure our dogs were eating healthy. And I think part of it was we saw a huge improvement in our dogs' overall health after we started feeding them our food, which was less shedding, less allergies. They actually were able to have a proper weight to them. The vets really liked their weight after a while, so it encouraged us to do more with it.
Well, and take me through some of the holdups with that, because I know that, every time I'm looking down, that's what I was talking about during the live read was, we always look down when we're having maybe a nice pot roast, on a Sunday, and then you're looking at your dog's food bowl and it's a bunch of dried kibble. And it really makes you start thinking about, is this really the right thing for your dog? Were there any hangups when you were putting formulas together and handcrafting your recipes with you and your wife that you weren't expecting,
I think there was a lot. As we started doing research and purchasing books and looking at like AFSCO certifications, there's a lot of foods that are questionable for dogs. So when I say questionable, even some of the books say it could be a good for a dog, it might not be a good for a dog. So we started eliminating those out of our recipes to make sure we only focused on things that were thought to be certainly good for a dog. Also, there's a lot of lab work, tests and certifications you have to get to sell dog food. And I was a little bit taken back by that. I've started a few companies, and this was shocking to me, all of the certifications, again, lab tests, to create a recipe for a dog isn't just for dog food, isn't just creating a recipe. It's creating the recipe, sending it off to a lab to have it tested, to have it recognized by AFCO as being good for a dog, a well-balanced nutrition. And then on and above that, once you have that certification or the lab tests done, you got to send all that to the state so the Department of Agriculture can look at the results and then also make sure your labels are in line with those results. So there was a lot more, it took a lot more time. I think we spent easily 8 to 10 weeks just going through all the testing and certifications.
Wow. And now, at any point in the 8 weeks where you're just getting ready to throw your hands up and go, come on, because, I always find the journey the most fascinating part, and just hearing a little bit about it, for all of us here that might be potential consumers to know that, think about all the channels this had to go through to even make it possible. I mean, it's definitely vetted and verified.
Yeah, and I don't want to discredit anybody, but I think the most humorous story in hindsight for me was the labels. After we had everything else done, we had our registration with the state. The state still had to approve the labels. And when I sent the labels off, I got a response back that basically said the labels aren't accurate or aren't correct. Please correct them and resubmit. And so I replied with, can you expand on what's not correct about the labels? To which there was crickets, right? They didn't respond to that. And so I tried like a week later asking again, and there's just nothing back. And so I went and found the document, the 58-page document that talks about pet labels, and read through it all. And I learned that I had fat listed on top of protein, and they want protein on top of fat, small change. So I made that tweak, sent them off for approval again, and got another rejection saying, no, they're still not correct. Please resubmit when they're correct. And I was like, what am I doing? What do I have wrong now? And so luckily I was able to figure out what I had wrong. But that was, again, I don't think I got frustrated in the process. I appreciated the process because it made me recognize how challenging it is to be able to sell a quality dog food. It's not something you just go start cooking a food and selling it. There's processes. I think it's actually, to me, sometimes more regulated than some human food.
Really?
to some degree.
Yeah, I get it. It's just to me that it's just hearing that though, and just the labels, because to me that would be one of those kind of just not irritating, but one of those little blips on the radar that I would have blown it up to be Mount Everest. And you were talking a little bit about some of your business background. Is there anything that you took out of maybe the other businesses that you've been a part of that helped you and your wife streamline the opening of Pup Kitchen?
I think there's a lot of things. I have, since I've started a few businesses, I don't get upset by challenges. I think I'm able to keep a level head and recognize that we can get around this. And again, I think if you're doing things the correct way with good intent, you're going to learn along the way as you're starting something new. So I was learning about dog food as I was going down this journey. And as I got pushed back, or as I was told, no, you have to do this, it wasn't, in my mind, negative. I was glad to learn it, and I wanted to do things the right way. So I think my acumen to starting other businesses led to me having a patience in the process of this one here, is the best thing I could say.
Now, have you and your wife, if it's okay for me to ask, have you guys partnered up before on businesses?
No, this is our first time to work together.
Even cooler.
Yeah.
Okay, so take me through that experience. What was it like? Because I come from a little bit of a family business background, and I'm always curious to ask this question.
Yeah, there's been some good times, definitely. I think one of the things is my wife is definitely more, I would say, artistic with things, whereas I understand processes for a business. And so there's quite a few times where, so going back to all the lab testing and certifications, right? There was times she was like, "Oh, I want to create a XYZ product." I know one time she wanted to do like a parfait bowl, and I go, "Well, do you realize, one, we can't just do that. You have to go through all those lab testing, and you can't just get creative and all of a sudden change it." And that still even went on to other things, like she wanted to tweak a recipe. I was like, "Well, we can't now. The recipe is set."
Right.
And that's part of my processing. The things I enjoy doing was like for our recipes, to make sure we adhered to the original recipe that was sent off for lab testing. When we sent that off, or prior to sending it off, I had us do 3 cooks individually, so I could make a process that I knew was repeatable to the T going forward. And part of that process was I created a calculator. So for instance, the chicken pot pie recipe obviously has, chicken in it and sweet potatoes and peas and other things. I think it's got russet potatoes, but we had to keep the proportions of all those the same. So depending on the cook, I knew that we might cook more or less at a certain time, depending on the orders and demand. I wanted to make sure those ratios stayed the same. So my calculator now allows us to cook the chicken. Once the chicken's cooked, we can weigh how much chicken we cooked. I can enter the weight of the chicken into this calculator, and it tells us exactly how much of every other ingredient's needed to meet our ratio. And so that's where my logic thinking, my process thinking, I think helped the process. And along the way, my wife definitely has good ideas for future initiatives. Like, the couple of recipes she has suggested, I do want us to do. We've gotten feedback from customers. One customer wanted more protein. I think that's a good idea. I'm sure people are going to want more of a high protein option as well. So we're going to take those initiatives and what my wife's ideas and make more recipes in the future. It's not going to happen here in November or December. It'll probably be a New Year activity. But when we do those, we have to have a similar process where I know that it's repeatable, and we send it off to the lab for testing. So there's steps involved before we just create recipes. Well, I don't know if I fully answered your question about my wife and I, but the point that I was trying to make is she's a little bit more creative and artistic, whereas I bring the process. You did.
Table. The only follow-up to that is there ever a time where the business hats come off anymore?
No, absolutely. No,
that's
I think
good.
We still
that's
have.
really good.
Yeah, we still have a family life. We have 2 kids. We still try to have dinners with our kids. We still try to make our personal lives our personal lives. There are times now we talk about the business around the house, and of course that happens a lot. As you know, we've teamed up with the Metro East Humane Society recently, so there's been a lot of talks around the house around that. But ultimately, yeah, there's still plenty of personal talk.
I'm emceeing the Metro East Humane Society's gala next year. I'm excited for it. They're great people. And honestly, I think it's hats off, not patronizing you, but that is such a difficult thing for so many people that come on this show that are partners in business and in life to find that time, and kudos for the balance of it. But getting into your personal lives with your dogs, when does the moment you notice that this new form or different form of food for your dog was really working? Did it take a few years? Was it instant when you got him off of kibble and started going into a different form of nutrition? How long did that kind of crossover take, in case folks are interested and are wanting really fast results?
Yeah, I got a couple stories for that. First off, I was fascinated with our dogs. We have 2 of our dogs are labs. Anyone who has a lab knows they're heavy shedders. Our dogs still shed. The shedding's not gone, but the amount of shedding is hugely decreased. I mean, we used to always have hairballs around our house. We were constantly vacuuming and sweeping. A lot of that has decreased. There's still hair, but it's decreased, and that happened pretty quickly. That was I don't want to give a time frame, but it wasn't months, multiple months. It was a month or less. We noticed that. The other big thing I noticed was their weight. So back when they were on kibble, and even when we started feeding them a combination of kibble and another brand's healthy food, they were still a little bit hefty, I'll say. And every time we went to the vet was like, they need to lose more weight. They're still a little overweight. And I kept hearing that repeatedly from the vet. They need to lose weight. And so we kept cutting back their food to the point where I was concerned if they were getting enough nutrition, because these were both like 89, 90 pound labs that the vet was saying needs to shed 15, 20 pounds. But I was only feeding them a cup and a half a day. So it was a very small amount of food. And I was just like, I don't know how to get them to shed more weight. Surprisingly to me, when we started feeding them our food, our whole, all natural, holistic food, they started losing weight. And what's even more impressive is they're eating a decent amount of our food. They're not eating a cup and a half a day anymore. They're eating upwards of 4 cups a day of our food, but they're all now down to a proper weight. And the vets every time now, like they're perfect. They don't need to lose weight. They're at a good weight. And we didn't put an effort towards that. So I was putting an effort towards that when they were on kibble. But once we moved them to our food, I was like, let's just feed them and see what happens. And their weight is naturally came off. Now, I don't want to announce this as a weight loss program for dogs. I'm not making any guarantees, but at the same time, I saw it in our dogs. The other thing I've seen from customers, and customers have reached out to this, is some of the customers have dogs that had, darkness in their eyes, like a lot of tearing and a lot of, dark lines underneath their eyes. And we've had 2 customers reach out to say those completely went away after about 2 weeks of eating our food.
Now, I got a question too, because you mentioned in the beginning of our conversation here a little bit about allergies and skin, because this is something that hits close to home. My dog is... Every time I took him to the vet just a couple weeks ago, great health, great weight, but he is itchy as hell for no reason. And I'm still trying to figure it out. And he has a little bit of a hot spot that went away. But have you noticed with the holistic food and that handcrafted food, does that kind of, can that help aid to maybe some of these allergy issues? Because I don't know what else to try. Neither does the vet. We're trying it all,
We have a pup just like that. Our yellow lab used to walk around the house scratching herself on everything. I mean, she would find a hard surface and just start scratching. And before you know it, she had a bald spot. And with our food, that has completely gone away. Again, I'm not going to say that's going to be the case for everyone. There's different allergies, different types of allergies. I know our yellow lab was allergic to a lot of stuff. But again, going back to even for humans, you've heard many times, let food be thy medicine. And I think with even dogs, if you feed them a healthy diet, a well-balanced diet, that's going to be what they need to have longevity. And I think it's similar for humans. You eat a well-balanced, well-rounded diet, you're going to have a better chance of longevity through that healthy eating.
Let me ask you this. Did you notice any change in their mood or their mobility levels?
Yeah.
Did you? That wasn't a leading question. I'm so curious about this. I am really fascinated.
Yeah, we've had, again, another couple of customers reach out to us on that as well. I don't remember the exact story. My wife would know the exact story, but one customer reached out to her, and I'm going to paraphrase my memory of it, but it was something around, their dog usually would go for walks, but really didn't want to, seemingly. And after just, 10 days on our food, the dog was up and excited to go for walks. We've noticed that too. Our dogs are definitely happy to go for walks. They both shed about 20 pounds, our dogs did. So now they're a little more
ready to go.
Weight and agile. Yeah, exactly. So they're very active, very playful. Our labs are, I think, 8 and 9 years old. So that's getting old for a lab. I mean, labs can have 12 to 14 year lifespans. That's upper age.
Right.
And they're still both very active.
That's incredible. I mean, truly incredible. And, I wanted to ask you this too, because the thing that I've been most nervous about with seeing, now talking with you about a locally sourced product makes me feel 10 times better. There's just something about seeing a YouTube ad for dog food that just didn't really sit right with me, because I'm like, where's that factory at? What's going on here? There's a lot of different questions. But to know that this is done locally just gives me a comfortability level. But the big question I had with all of this is, my dog's been a kibble dog since he was a puppy. He's a year and a year and a half now, or a year and 7 months, going on 2 years. But the question would be, is there a transitionary period for their stomach to get acclimated from a dry kibble to a more of to your guys' dog food? Because to me, it would be like eating Taco Bell for, 8 months, and then all of a sudden you switch to a salad. You know what I'm saying?
Totally. Yes. If you just do a hard cut over, they're probably going to have some runniness coming out. I think you should transition a bit. And I think the things I've heard in the past, I've always abided by is do like a half and half for a week and then slowly start transitioning out the kibble. And that gives their system a chance to become acclimated with the product, which I think is an important thing to do.
Oh, absolutely. I'm glad I asked you that too, because I don't know. There was just something about that was sticking in my head because I'm really thinking about making the switch here. And, who would be the best option, for this food? Is it all dog owners? Is there a, once we're on this, it's best to stay there. Is there a perfect, individual or perfect family for this type of product?
Well, that's a really good question. The majority of all people who have dogs love their dog and want their dog to be healthy and have a long life. And I think those people are definitely individuals who should look at feeding their dog something healthier than kibble. Going back to even humans, if you're looking at food that's well preserved and shelf stable, it's not going to be as good for us. And I firmly believe that kibble is going to be very similar for a dog. If you have something that doesn't require refrigeration, is shelf stable, it cannot be as healthy as a whole food that is what we should be eating.
Yeah.
And you mentioned local earlier. What we do like about our product is we deliver it to each person. We hand deliver it. It's not shipped. What I like about that, in comparing it to the online brands, and being fully honest, we had bought the online brands prior to.
I was curious. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we had done that ourselves prior to starting to cook our own food. And my frustration with the online brands wasn't so much with the brands, but it was with the shipping.
Yeah.
So there was multiple times, and I'm really honestly saying in the course of a couple years, 10 to 15 times where the food didn't make it to us when it should. And not to put blame on anyone, but maybe it was delayed in shipping, maybe it was lost in shipping, but there was 15 plus times that we didn't get the food in time. So when we did receive it, it was past when we needed it, or it was ruined when we received it because the ice had melted and it was warm inside the box. And that makes it inconvenient for a dog owner who's expecting that shipment. So with us, when you order on our site, we reach out to you with usually within 24 hours to find out when you need the delivery. And again, we personally deliver it. That's why we're trying to focus on a 40-mile radius of Edwardsville, because we drive it to you and bring it to you and hand it to you or put it on your doorstep if that's where you want it at. But ideally, it's coming from us fresh to you.
See, I honestly think this is incredible. I mean, really, that's why I really love this local portion of it. And I wanted to dive back into that here, too, because, you never know what factory has, a dog food, producing a portion of it. And then on the next sector of it, or maybe two walls down, you got some other type of production line going on to it. Just, you never know where they're located. What were some of the challenges of finding that local spot? You said it came to you, or it kind of fell on your lap a little bit, but would it have been harder for you to do this if it didn't fall on your lap if you had to go look for it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if it fell in my lap. This is where my wife is really diligent. She was probably looking for the opportunity, knowing her, which is good. I'm glad she was. But ultimately what happened was a commercial kitchen here in Edwardsville became available, not to rent, but to buy. And so we bought the commercial kitchen.
Wow.
And that is where the food is made. It's a commercial kitchen. And to what you said, it is a commercial kitchen. And so we do have another tenant or two other tenants who are using the kitchen, but it's being used for human grade food. And what I like about that is that means our kitchen is being inspected by the health department periodically to make sure we're sticking up with standards. And so our food being, dog food, I'm using air quotes, is the only thing that, and I started to say isn't human grade, but really our dog food is human grade. And
I'm not being funny, but I was going to ask you if you've tried it, because
we always eat our food. Yeah, it's kind of funny to say that. And I don't want to sound like a crazy person, but one of the jokes, one of the fun parts is right now it's a family business, obviously. And so my kids, my wife and I all get in there and cook. And there's a couple of funny things. One is we've each tried each recipe because it's completely human grade. There's nothing in there you can't eat. Matter of fact, we had one customer tell us that they took the Wake and Wag steak and eggs. So Wake and Wag steak and eggs is beef, eggs, sweet potatoes, peppers, and spinach. He literally took a package, added salt and pepper to it, put it in a burrito, and ate it himself, which is fine. It's like a breakfast burrito is what it really is. but all of our food is human grade. And the funny story I was going to get at is after we cook, quite often, as we're packaging it all, there's a little bit of each one left over. And we will take those leftovers, whatever's left over, including any extra ingredients, and put them into a big bowl. And that's kind of like, the cobbler's son. Our dogs get some of that stuff, right? And every time one of us dares someone else to try it, because it's a mix of like all the ingredients at that point in time. And someone's always has to try it to see what it tastes like.
That's incredible. And I just like the family component of this because, you wouldn't think of a dog food company of having, that family atmosphere in this different type of approach. But really, that's what our dogs are. They're family. My dog is my son. There is no denying that, at this point in time. And whenever you started launching this, whenever people start to hear about it, was there an initial feedback of a good level, or did it take a little bit for the word to spread?
The word spread pretty quickly, but there's a lot of question around that, right? In my mind, as I'm trying to answer that. So the word spread quickly. I was surprised how many people heard of Pup Kitchen pretty quickly, which I was excited about. Now, though, we have to get people convinced that it is a quality product and they want to buy it. So there's two things to tackle there. One is awareness, which I think is still ongoing. We have to create more awareness. And then two is trust. So people actually recognize that we're a trusted company in the area. And again, going back to the Metro East Humane Society, I think this Thursday, they're going to do a pause giving and feed all the dogs a Thanksgiving dinner on Thanksgiving Day, and they're going to do a live stream. So we're providing all the food for that at no cost as a donation to them.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about that. But I'm hoping that also people will see that the Humane Society is using our food for the dogs. That will help build some trust with our food.
The other thing that comes up with dog food, and I know this just from a personal level when I started, I'm not going to lie, I know it's 9:42, but I was bitching and schnooks the other day, because you grab the food and you're like, oh my God, you look down at the price. Is it something, do you think, that most families or households could afford? Or because I know that you're cooking live ingredients, I mean, this is the real deal here. How should we account our budget for this? I think that's the better question.
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. And obviously, it's a premium food. It has a premium price, and it's unfortunate. But anytime you're using more holistic, healthy ingredients, quite often the price is going to go up a bit because it's not shelf stable anymore. It can't sit on a shelf for 2 years and still be edible as far as the manufacturer is concerned. So it's a premium product. We did do a lot of work to buy competitors' products to understand their pricing. So to restate that, some of the online competitors, in my opinion, aren't crystal clear about their pricing. They will advertise things like starting at only $10 a week,
right? But
that's for like a 3-pound teacup dog of some sort. So it's not realistic for a lab or something. So what I did was I took 3 of our competitors that I identified, and I bought a significant amount of their food from each one of these competitors. That allowed me to weigh the food and understand a price per pound they were charging. We then took all that data and made sure we priced ours at the same price or below the lowest price per pound. Now, that also means there's, from a business perspective, maybe consequences in that, right? Because there are huge companies with all kinds of VC funding who can price things really low. We are a family business as a startup. So really argumentatively, we're priced at a point right now where our margins are very thin. But I'm okay with that again, because I'm trying to create a brand that's local and people want to use. And if we're helping dogs or helping dogs get healthier and providing value to the community, I'm okay with that. But my point being is I believe we're priced competitively. A few customers have reached out to us to confirm that they were using one of the competitors and they were getting, for instance, a monthly delivery, and they've now signed up for us for a monthly delivery, and they've confirmed that our prices are right at what they were paying, if not a few dollars below what they were paying.
It's incredible. And I really am appreciative of that answer, because that's always been like the final holdup for me is, being a younger guy out there and it's good to know that. But now I'm feeling a lot more positive about my future experience with a Pup Kitchen here. So how does the ordering work? Is it a month ahead? Is it a month order or a month supply all the time? Is it by week? Is it just by pound? How does that kind of break down if I call or place online?
Yeah, and that's one of the things on our website, which I believe can be a bit confusing. And I kind of designed the site, so I haven't found a better way of doing this yet. But when you go to our site, there's a shop button, and you can pick one of the 6 recipes. When you go into the recipe, there's a little form that asks for your dog's name, your dog's weight, your dog's age, and your dog's target weight. The purpose of target weight is for the calculator to understand if your dog needs to lose weight or gain weight. And the age is also important because the calculator uses that to see if your dog is young, active and growing, or older and less active and needs a little bit less of a caloric intake, right? So once you enter those fields, there's a calculate button, and that calculate button gives you how much food your dog needs per day, and it shows it to you in ounces. From there, there is a input box that you can enter how many days of food you want. It prices the food accordingly by pound is what it does. So it is purchasing by pound, but ultimately it tells you how many pounds you need to feed your dog for however many days you enter.
I'm nerding out about your calculations, man. I just think this is like, out of all the interview, I love how you're getting to these numbers. I geek out about this stuff. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I appreciate it. Again, I'm big on processes, and so I didn't want to take. And I want to answer your question before.
Sorry, it was my fault.
No, it's all good. It's all good. So ultimately, once you enter the number of days, you can put it into your cart. When you put it into your cart, there is a option where I want this repeated weekly, or I want this repeated every other week, or I want it repeated monthly, or I just want a one-time purchase. So you can really set up your own schedule. You can do it one at a time. I think there's a bit of a discount. I shouldn't say I think. There's a bit of a discount for creating a subscription. So your individual one-time purchase is about $8.49 a pound, whereas the subscription price is $7.95 per pound. And there's no commitment to the subscription. You can cancel at any time. But ultimately, with the subscription, you can select a weekly subscription, a bi-weekly subscription, or a monthly subscription.
Well, and honestly,
go ahead.
Just doing the by the pound, though, that's really not that far off from some of the kibble that you're seeing even at Schnucks. I mean, in all seriousness, I mean, if you look at the bags and you break down how many pounds of dog food are in there, I mean, that's a pretty quick number. And to be even $3 off of dried kibble is pretty damn good for pricing, in all seriousness. I mean, I was just doing the math in my head thinking about that, and that makes sense.
Yeah. And going back to your calculator, I really enjoyed the process of building the calculator that I built. I went to other sources such as PetMD and looked at their recommended serving. And you did a lot of research on recommended serving size for dogs. And one thing I noticed was a lot of the calculators strictly rate on the dog's weight. They don't take into account if the dog needs to lose weight or if the dog's young or old. And I don't want to pinpoint anyone, but a lot of them are just like, if your dog weighs 85 pounds, give them this many cups of food per day. And it was all it was. And so our calculator tries to take into account more as far as age, if they should be losing weight, if they should be gaining weight, and those kind of things. So it gives you ideally a little bit more of an accurate intake for your pup. And
now that we're at the final portions of our conversation, but Mark's going to be joining us again next week for another interview that I'm really excited about for Thanksgiving. I wanted to talk about our process. So once it's delivered, you guys show up at our door, drop it off. We appreciate it. How do we need to add water, or do we just put it in the bowl, or what's that process look like for us?
That's a great question. So every order can be tailored to what you need. What I mean by that is our typical process in the kitchen is, so we follow all human grade food procedures. And to that, I have my food manager license. I do personally. Really? So I know the processes to handle food for a human, and we follow all those. And so what that means is when we finish cooking something, it's got to go from cook temperature down to 70 degrees within 2 hours. And then it's got to go from that 70 down to cooling temperature, which is in the refrigerator for 41 degrees within 4 hours past that. So we follow all those things. When we finish compiling a recipe and we've created, let's say, going back to the Wake and Wag steak and eggs, we've created that recipe, we package it, and then we typically start freezing it. And we have freezers that have, kind of a turbo freeze mode on them. So it cools it down to freezing temperature pretty quickly. We usually deliver it to people in a frozen state. Frozen because it can last 3 to 6 months in your freezer safely to be able to be thawed and served to your dog. Once you thaw it, it's recommended to eat it within 5 days of thawing. So again, not when you start thawing it, but once it has thawed, make sure that it gets consumed within 5 days.
So
what I said real quickly, since we're personalized, we do have certain people though that ask, can you please give me mine thawed? And we will do that. We will work with that person to make sure their delivery is a thawed delivery and not a frozen delivery.
Wow, that's actually got to be a little bit tougher, I'm sure. And so just to clarify the thaw and the wait time, because we used to do a food safety segment on the show, so I think it's really cool that you're bringing this up. Really, the counter doesn't start until, like, let's say I bring it out at 8 o'clock at night because I know I'm going to feed my dog Nico at 5:45 in the morning to thaw it. That wouldn't start until the following day after I already start serving them, correct? Just for the audience you never know how these FAQs get.
So the recommended process, what I do is I keep a few days worth in my refrigerator as I use a day. So at the end of every day, I go to the freezer and pull out enough. So I have kind of a rotating 4 or 5 days in my refrigerator. So the stuff takes, depending on the size of the package, right? So our packages are 1 pound packages quite often. A 1 pound package can easily take 12 hours, 14 hours to thaw in the refrigerator. Once it's thawed in the refrigerator, and you have 5 days past that point to serve it. Really? And I don't want to get anyone's dog sick. 5 days in my mind is a very safe estimate. We have our dogs. I'm not gonna recommend anyone do this, but I have definitely fed my dogs food that had been thawed 7 days earlier. So it's in my mind, if you do a DADOT system, right, in any serving facility, most food is going to last 7 days, which is 7 days past today. Today counts as one, I should say. So it's 1 day for today, and then 6 days following is what a food's going to last, even for human consumption.
Really fascinating. All right, a couple more questions for you, and thanks for hanging in there on my illness day, man. I am got smoked by some type of cold, so I appreciate you putting up with my horsey voice and everything else. But the other couple of final questions: how long does it take for you guys to prepare your orders every week? What's that look like when you guys are in the kitchen?
It's a lot of fun, in my opinion. I try to have fun in most things I do, whether they can be stressful or not. It's a lot of work. First off, I'm not a young pup anymore. So the first few, taking a step way back, right? We started cooking in the kitchen just to get used to the process back like in May or June. And we didn't start selling our product until late August. So we had many cooks in the kitchen. And I would say going back to May or June, at the end of every weekend, I felt like I'd been run over by a truck. I was just so sore, right? And I work out. I'm not someone who just sits around, but I do have a job where I sit here a lot. But ultimately that was using different muscles that I had not used enough. And I was just exhausted. That has improved. I can now, be in the kitchen all weekend long and not have that amount of soreness. So I can see an improvement there. But the kitchen time for me is fun because it's really, again, the whole family quite often. My older son, he is a blast in the kitchen. He has kitchen experience. He's worked in a local kitchen, a local restaurant in the past. So he's got a lot of experience and he's a lot of fun in the kitchen to work alongside. We have modified our cook to where now Friday after work, we try to go up there and start our cooking process. And we try to get the proteins out of the way on Friday. So our goal on Fridays are to cook the proteins and cook the grains. We have a couple recipes that have like rice in them. So those all get cooked on Friday. We get them all cooled down into the walk-in cooler on Friday. And then Saturday, we come in and do all the vegetables, which is a lot of dicing and cooking of the vegetables. And I like to add that everything is cooked for our products, which is important because if someone, let's take all the scares we've seen in the last couple of years around Listeria or E. coli in food and that kind of stuff. Those things, those pathogens are killed at the right temperature. So we do cook all of our food, again, to follow human grade standards. They're all cooked to the proper temperature. So if E. coli is present in something, it's going to be killed as it's cooked. And obviously there's certain pathogens that don't work that way, but most of them do work that way. So we cook on Friday, we cook all the vegetables on Saturday, everything's in the walk-in cooler, and then Sunday is the packaging day. So we spend all 3 days in the kitchen with the family.
I love it. Hey, Mark, before I let you go, what's the best way for us to stay up to date on Pup Kitchen and to place our orders now?
Absolutely. So pupkitchen.com is the website. You can find out a lot of information there. We are on social media, Facebook and Instagram. And I think we have weekly, I shouldn't say weekly, 3 to 4 posts per week on those platforms. But I think pupkitchen.com is probably where you can go to find out more.
Well, Mark, thank you so much for your time. Looking forward to talking with you again on Tuesday when we tape that conversation for Thanksgiving. But best of luck with this. I'm super excited to learn more, and I can't wait to see if I can sign Nico up and get him some new food.
I appreciate the conversation, CJ. Thank you very much for your time.
No problem. 9:55, a little bit of change. More Daily Show comes your way after this top of the hour news break, right after this on RiverBender.com.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready? Future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Dibs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pins. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit VillageDispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Welcome back to our Daily Show. Here's CJ.
Then that time I went and said goodbye. Now I'm back and not ashamed to cry. Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Here I am, baby. Oh, you got my feelings shaking.
10:31. Sound like Vito Corleone at the end in the garden, getting ready to fall over. Thanksgiving week, and we wrap up the Monday show with Mary Cordes and Hayner. How are you doing?
Sounds like I'm better than you are.
I feel great today. I just sound awful, which nothing's really new there. But how has things been at the library?
Going okay. We've got a lot going on as usual. Gearing up, I should say, for a couple of programs that are coming up. So the one thing I really wanted to let everybody know about and remind everybody about, this is our 3rd annual. So this will be our 3rd time doing this. Our local author book fair is going to take place. So it's going to be Saturday, December 7th. So this coming up in 2 weeks. In 2 weekends from now, and from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Alton Square Mall. It's going to be outside of the Hayner Library at Alton Square Mall in the courtyard between us and JCPenney. Mm-hmm. We have 25 local authors who are signed up to participate. They're going to each have their own table. You can walk around. You can talk to all the local authors that are participating. You can buy their books. A lot of them have more than one book. Some of them have a whole series of books. Yeah. That's how successful they are. So you can meet your favorite local author, find a new local author, purchase some books and make good Christmas presents or stocking stuffers, and you can get them autographed. We'll have a library open house at the same time, so you can come in, take a look at the library, sign up for a library card. We'll have a children's table with a little craft for the kids, and just have a good couple of hours meeting new people.
This is super cool. Now, how quickly did your spots fill up?
Fast. So we put the newsletter out in the summer, inviting authors to come in, and we filled up within, I think it was about, maybe a month and a half, 2 months. I mean, it filled up really quickly. Yeah. And we have a couple people we have several people that'll be rejoining us from the previous 2 years, but then we have a bunch of new authors, which is really exciting.
See, that's where I care about more, is getting new people to keep coming in.
We were really excited about it. In fact, one of them is my neighbor across the street. She came over and she said, "Mary, can I be in the book club?" I said, "Absolutely." We still had spots, and so signed her up, and she's working this weekend. I saw her. She's working on her display for her table. So people are really excited about it. Yeah. And also, I just want to mention, our teen group is so great, and they are volunteering to help take down the tables after the event. So it won't just be me and a couple of staff members lugging tables. These teens are just so great, and we always talk about the younger generation, but they are so wonderful, and they asked if they could come and help take down the tables before they have their next. Before they have their event later that afternoon. So
they want you out of there is really what the...
Totally different space. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
that actually is really cool.
And the Community Service League, if I remember, at least last year, I think they're going to be at the same spot we're in. So you can just buy your book. You can walk 10 feet over to the Community Service League table, have your books wrapped, and contribute to the Community Service League.
I always have them wrap my rob your neighbor gifts.
Oh, yeah.
And I always get the most grotesque things for them to wrap. They have fun with it, yeah. I got a willy warmer last year from Spencer's. That was hilarious. That lady thought it was hilarious. But on December the 7th, the Teen Center's having their ugly Christmas sweater party.
They are. And so they're going to come down. They're going to help break down the tables for the local author book fair, and then they're going to have an ugly Christmas sweater party. And I think,
is this open to the public?
Yeah, this is open to teens. Yeah, to any teen that wants to come. We just have you, if you could call Megan and sign up for it ahead of time, just so we know how many snacks to have, because we feed the teens. So
that's even better.
You want teens to come to a library program, you need to feed them. So we'll have the teen program, and I think they're even making ugly Christmas sweaters up there, if I remember correctly. So
that's really cool.
Yeah, so it'll be a good time for
them.
You
know what we should do? We should send people's moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, the folks that bought them those sweaters for some gift, and go, hey, I hate to tell you this.
Here's your ugly. So we were joking. I'm thinking I might bust out at some point this Christmas season. I made a skirt entirely out of those little bows that you put on. I hot glued 200 of these bows to this skirt and won an ugly Christmas sweater party that I went to one time. So I should probably bust that out at some point too.
Also, this is coming up on, you guys are busy on the 7th.
Yes.
So you guys have the Genealogy and Local History Library open house.
Yes, we do. So, and there's only so many Saturdays, and so unfortunately a few things are
Is there a little competition going on?
No, because you can come to both.
Oh,
so
okay.
There you go. You should come to both. So the Genealogy and Local History Library Holiday Open House is just a beautiful. It's a great chance if you have not been to the Genealogy and Local History Library and you keep telling yourself, I'm going to go, you should come on Saturday, December 7th. It's from 10 to 1, and the local author book fair is from 11 to 2. So you can come to both, but you can go to the Genealogy and Local History Library at 401 State Street, and it's decorated. It's like a Victorian-inspired Christmas wonderland. So you can come. We'll have cookies, lemonade. We have puzzles that you can put together that were created between the library and the Graphic Arts Communications Club.
I always think that's so
at
cool.
Alton High.
Yeah.
And they're all local history pictures.
How was Puzzle Me this?
Oh my gosh, it was so well attended. We actually had a wait list.
Did you?
And we had pictures are on our Facebook page. So the puzzle was all doors of Alton, and it was like a collage of doors, photos, and then the Genealogy and Local History Library and the Graphic Communications Club at Alton High put them together in a collage and created a puzzle. And then we had a puzzle competition. And I think it was put together in an hour. So, I mean, like the fastest team that won, because we gave a prize for fastest.
I wouldn't even give them a prize. I wouldn't even give them a prize.
So they won. We had one table that won for their theme that they put together with like their outfits and stuff. It was so much fun. But
cool.
But you can come to that holiday open house. And we'll have we'll have a craft that you can make and take home about your family history. We'll have a couple of our books for sale as well. And then we'll also be able to, our staff members will be there to help you learn about how to create your family tree and do local history research. So it's just, and the fireplaces will be going. And honestly, if the weather this coming weekend, it's going to be cold. So if the following weekend is anything like that, come, because we'll have the fireplaces kicked on. And it's just a beautiful place to be.
Now, are the lime couriers and Eve's riverboat?
The courier knives. Yeah, those are available for sale. So you can anytime the genealogy and local history library is open, you can come in. We've got several copies of those photos, and these were prints, courier knives prints that were put out by the Mississippi Lime Company, and somebody donated a large amount of them to the library for sale, and they're riverboat era prints, and so you can purchase a copy of them. They're $15. They're big, so these would make a great, if you know somebody that loves like river history or Alton history.
So they aren't small notebook cards.
No, these are very large prints that you can frame, and so they're $15 each. They're images of the courier knives, images of like the paddle boat era in the St. Louis area and the Mississippi. So you can come get those anytime the genealogy and local history library is open. You can flip through, kind of see which one you want. They're $15 cash or check, because we're still, I think, maybe the only place in town that doesn't take a debit or a credit card. But we're working on it. So yeah.
Well, hey, the weekend of December the 7th is full of fun, because on December the 8th, a Celtic Christmas Switchback.
Yes, Switchback is coming, and we are full for this one.
Wait, are you serious?
This is a. Every year we try to do our Christmas concert, because we get people constantly asking us, when's Switchback coming? When is Switchback coming? So it's a partnership between us and Lewis and Clark, the music department at Lewis and Clark College. So we bring in Switchback, and then they host the group at the Benjamin Godfrey Chapel, and they provide all the sound equipment. And so
cool.
it's great. So they'll be there. They're going to be performing Celtic from their holiday album, Celtic Requests. And so that's, there's a waiting list for that, actually. A lot of our programs have waiting lists.
I love it.
Try to fit as many people in as we can. So.
Well, I like that one, but this one's fun too. My co-host from on Friday, Mike Roberts, going to be doing a 90-day weather outlook.
He is. So he's going to be at the library, and there's still we can fit people into this one. It's Wednesday, December 11th at 6:30 p.m. at our Alton Square Library upstairs in our performance room at the mall. And Mike is going to be there. He's going to be talking about the weather. Everybody loves to talk about the weather. And so we thought, why not bring in our local celebrity? And we're going to talk about the 90-day weather outlook, so what to expect for this winter and early spring. And then he's also going to talk about why winter that we currently experience isn't the winter that people remember from their youth.
Yeah.
And why it's totally different.
Well, we were talking on Friday about how November's rain, we almost broke a record.
Yeah. What we know, because down at the library we had a leaky roof. So if you were in the library the week of the 5th.
Did I tell you the story about my oven?
No.
Well, in the summer, my oven went out, and I'm like,
remember us talking about that. Yeah.
Well, I bought an oven, and then all of a sudden, my oven came back on. So I thought, well, okay, I'd rather need my hot water heater now. So I called and got a hot water heater instead and switched. Well, all of a sudden, this rain, my oven went out again. I looked up. It's because there was a puddle of water on my stove from the damn roof.
Oh,
and it was a slow leak I never saw, and it fried it out.
So that's why you need a new oven.
Thank God I did not buy a new oven before the roof. You know how mad I would have been?
I would have been really ticked. I would have been really ticked.
But you know what's wild about weather? The weather social media people are vicious. Have you seen some of those weather pages?
I am not on social media.
Oh my God. See, this is the only time I would encourage you to hop on somebody's account and just to go look at like some of the, like one of them's hyperlocal extreme weather. They have like 70,000 people that follow them.
Holy cow.
Oh my God. The guy comes on the show and brings a following. Like it's thousands of people every time.
That's amazing.
But the thing is though, like the social media people fight with the TV people about who's right. It is like a war.
Oh,
yeah,
that's That's pretty amazing. Well,
that won't be discussed, but
no. I do know that weather people, if you're a weather person, you are a weather
passionate.
person.
It is a passion.
Yeah, my husband is a weather person, and I mean he has a background in it.
But the thing is, you have to study so much. It's not just looking at a chart.
It's not. I know he was a pilot, went to school to be a pilot.
Oh,
and
see, that's for
he's
sure.
He's really into atmospherics and weather, and those people are
Does
very,
he ever
very
annoy
passionate.
you though? Whenever he's like, "It's not going to snow," when you think it's going to snow.
No, he's actually because I'm one of these people that just sticks my head out the window.
That's
I'm
what
like,
I do. Yeah.
Do I need a coat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of need a coat. And he is on it. So if I have any questions, I just say, Paul, what's the weather going to be? And boom, he can tell me. So it's like having my own little meteorologist.
There was a guy at the radio station that across the river when I used to work. He wasn't a weather guy, but kind of had a background in it, and like he wasn't a weather guy, but had
yeah.
God, he pissed me off because I'd go, "Oh, it's gonna snow today." No, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. No, it's not, and it wouldn't snow, and I'd get so mad.
That's Paul. He's
mad.
very good at that. He pays attention to a lot of that stuff.
One final thing before we get back to the book fair, because I want to take a break and wrap up just completely on the book fair, is the Illinois Library presents Little Women, the musical.
Yeah, so this is a really great program. We have a group that we belong to called Illinois Libraries Presents, and it's us and other libraries, public libraries in the state of Illinois. We come together and we form this online consortia so that you can watch all of these really great programs online. Mm-hmm. You can watch them from the privacy of your own home, so you can just sit down and enjoy these programs, or you can come to the library if you don't have internet access or you don't have a computer and it's something piques your interest. But these are things that are events that are with like best-selling authors and TV personalities and all kinds of things. And every year in December, we try to bring some kind of big performance. Last year it was the Nutcracker Suite musical with the London Philharmonic and the London Ballet. And so this year it's December 20th to the 22nd. If you go on to HaynerLibrary.org and go to our events calendar and look for December 22nd, you can watch Little Women the musical, and you just need to register for it. You can even register for it that day, and then you can watch it. It's 100% online. It's an online program, which is really great too for people that can't get out.
Yeah.
So you can watch that. It'll be Little Women the musical.
Well, and then also on December the 10th, a youth program about the work of Raina Telgemeier.
Mm-hmm.
Almost got it right.
Yep.
Best-selling author and graphic novels. We talked about this already.
Yeah.
Is that? We've
had so much fun with that. Our teen program, our teen club, they are making their own graphic novels right now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So they're step-by-step creating their own graphic novels, and so this kind of fits right in with it, but you can kind of talk with her. We just had Art Smith who came in, who talked about holiday tips and tricks. He's Chef Art Smith, so he was part of the program. So these are
you learn anything?
No. I am not Martha Stewart.
I'm not either.
No.
I'm a crock pot cooker, and I
love crock pot.
See,
yeah.
I'm a master. I'm a master at that, and then like the frying pan. But when it comes to actually cooking and baking,
I'm a good cook. I just don't like to cook.
Yeah.
Baking, I don't do.
See,
I'm not a good baker.
I will hear you on that times
but cooking
too. Yeah.
and my Midwest card, I can make the heck out of a casserole. So I do have that going for me.
Oh my God, the worst thing ever though. Before we take this break and come back, I had the worst breakfast casserole. It was like it wasn't in the summer. I was eating out somewhere, and it was one of those meetings are.
Yeah.
But I don't know what happened. Maybe the chef was hungover and had a bad day. I have never had a breakfast casserole. It has the eggs and the sausage in it.
Yeah.
Drier than a bone.
Really?
Oh my God. You could have given me a gallon of water and I was still going to choke on that.
He didn't use cream of mushroom soup or something.
There
Or
you
some
go.
kind of, you need something like that in a casserole.
Hey, we're going to come back and talk about the local author book fair and all the other great things coming down the pipeline at Hayner. You stay there. We'll stay here on RiverBender.com and Roku TV. It's our daily show.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof, because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Dibs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit villagedispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Once in a million years, a lady like a horizon. We had and you cried, but she's gone and your life knows no answer. Then your life knows no answer.
See, I feel like that's how leaders are of like countries. You know, like you think they're always thinking about serious things, but it's really about some random video like I would do. Like, I wonder whatever happened to that guy. Welcome back to our daily show, 1049 on December the 7th. A lot happening, but you can start it off at the local author book fair at 8. 9, 11?
11.
Oh,
so you can do, so close, so close. You can go to the genealogy and local history library at 10 for the open house, and then you can come to the book from 10 to 1, and then you can come to the book fair from 11 to 2. You can bookend your day at the library.
Well, and honestly, you guys are doing a good thing because, I mean, let's be real here. The mall is pretty hurting throughout the year normally.
It is.
To have people in the retail sector, this is a good thing with the Community Service League wrapping presents. Yep. Go to the local author book fair, purchase some books, purchase some other things from Ross and Hallmark and Finish Line. Pop and get them wrapped.
Exactly.
Done.
Yep. Yeah, and support your local retailers because
they will
the
wrap
mall
anything.
They will. The mall is definitely hurting for certain, and so with Bath and Body Works not being there this summer or this Christmas,
they're not here.
No, they moved out of the mall.
Oh,
so they're now in their own place, right next to where Marshalls and the new Marshalls, the new
like in the Buckmaster.
Yes.
Okay.
Ulta.
Yeah.
All of that. Bath and Body Works is right there. So it's going to be interesting to see how the shopping season goes at the mall. So
but there's still a lot of good options, and you can still go be a part of the local author book fair.
Yep.
And also, you can also. I wanted. What time is that again? All day or 4 hours?
The local author book fair is from 11 to 2.
11 to 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, while you're there, you can also learn about the great things that your library card gives you, like Tumble Book, the library system, the free ebooks for children, Creative Bug, and then if people have questions just about any of their experiences, can they ask you there too?
Absolutely. Oh, and you know, one thing that I was going to mention, we were talking off break if there was anything to mention. We actually, you said Tumble Books, and it reminded me, if you are a local business in our area, which is Alton, Godfrey, and Foster Township in our district, and you have a waiting area. So, if you're a restaurant and you have a room at your table, or maybe you're a doctor's office, or a place where you can buy tires, someplace where you're going to have little ones sitting, maybe a bank, and you're going to have them sitting for a while, and they need to have their attention focused somewhere. We actually have we have Tumble Book Library for kids, which are ebooks that they can get on their phone. You can download the Tumble Book app. And so what we're asking is local businesses that have a waiting area, if you contact me, we will bring out a little stand. We'll either bring you a little flyer, and just very small flyer that'll fit perfectly on a table in a waiting area or a restaurant. It'll have a QR code on it. And so the library is providing, it would be free. The library is providing the QR code. You can scan it, and then the kiddos that are in your restaurant or your business that are waiting, they can access the ebooks for free. It skips the login. You don't have to do any of that. You just scan the QR code. So maybe while mom and dad are sitting there and the kids are waiting for dinner to come out, you can just scan that QR code on your device and get Tumble Book access for free.
And how do they reach out to you for that?
You can either call me, which is 618-433-2877, or you can email me, and it's Mary.Cordes, Cordes, at HaynerLibrary.org, or just call the library and ask for Mary.
That's perfect. I was thinking about even you said the oil change thing.
Yeah.
I remember where they used to have the little Lucas and Oil gear. Remember? You could always
you don't
remember that?
Remember that.
They would always there was a little gearbox, and you could see how their oil would always make it work better than regular.
Yeah. So this is just something maybe you're at the bank and mom and dad are talking about a car loan or something, and you've got a little one, and you're instead of just putting YouTube, and you just don't know what you're going to get when you just hand over your device. These are all educational, entertaining, educator vetted materials, and there's little online games and puzzles and audiobooks and all of that kind of stuff. So
that's really cool.
We'd love to get those out to as many businesses as we can.
And then do you guys do a phone number for
we do dial a story. So
okay.
So actually I'm glad you mentioned that, because this little flyer that we'll hand out, and like I said, we'll even provide the little plastic stand, so there's no cost to your restaurant.
Literally
or zero. On the other side of it is the dial a story number, which is 618-462-TALE, TALE, and you can call that, and we will read lots of books to you over the phone.
Do you guys do a Christmas messages.
Thing? I'm sure we'll have a Christmas story on there for sure, because we kind of tailor them to the holidays and the seasons. So yep.
They also have, I saw a thing where they have Santa and the Grinch's phone number now online.
Oh,
it's cool.
Really? Yeah. Interesting. I know there used to be, was it NORAD? NORAD.
Yeah.
You used to be able to look online or call, and you could find out where Santa
My grandma always said she'd shoot him when he came down the chimney. It's true. Said she would shoot him.
Merry Christmas.
Yep. Put two in you, What are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? Going out, staying in, traveling?
No, so I'm really lucky. Most of my family, almost all of my family is local. So
good for you.
So we see each other all the time anyway. But yeah, we'll see each other whether it's on Thanksgiving Day or the following weekend. So yeah,
do you guys do a big Thanksgiving?
We've got a big family. We do a big meal. So
do you cook or do you cater?
No, we cook.
Oh man, good for you. See, I'm starting to get lazy. I'm getting into this whole carvers can do it for me thing.
Oh yeah. Now see, the funny thing is, hardly anyone in my family likes turkey.
Oh,
so we're gonna do pulled pork this year. And then we're gonna do all the sides, the traditional sides.
I was watching National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It's getting funnier the older I get. Seeing the turkey get cut and it just disintegrates.
I know, because who hasn't had that horrible thing where either the turkey's overdone or underdone? And with poultry, I would much rather it be overdone than underdone.
Oh, have you ever seen a genius turkey carver too?
No.
Oh my God, there are some people that just should not be allowed near electrical saws or knives or anything. Just stop. Don't even touch the turkey.
My father-in-law is a master turkey.
Oh, see, you are blessed.
He can take apart a turkey. Yeah, that is his thing. He's very, very good at it. So
that's really cool. With that being said, any new arrivals at the library? Any new books that people have been asking about?
Oh my gosh, we've got so many new things. Every Tuesday, we've got new stuff that comes out. Tuesdays are the days, I don't know if anybody knows it, Tuesdays are the days when all the books get released at the bookstore. And so the minute they're released at the bookstore, we have them cataloged and ready to go. We get books early. And so that gives us time to catalog them, get them ready to go out to patrons. And then what we call a street date. So the minute that they are available at the bookstore, we just send them out to the library. So every Tuesday. And if you go to Wowbrary, WOWBRARY, Wowbrary.org, Wowbrary.org. Just Google Wowbrary. You can put in your zip code and you can find Hayner Library. You can sign up for it. It's free. It's an email. It comes to you every week and it tells you every single new thing that we've added to our catalog that week, just Hayner Library items.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have a couple of days to get ready for December the 7th and the weekend that brings.
I know. It's going to be a big one, but we're looking forward to it.
Now, are you going to make both events?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or actually all 3 events?
I will try to make it. I probably will not be able to make the genealogy open house because it lands right in the middle of the book fair, and I will be at the book fair the whole time. So,
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, Mary, always great talking with
Thanks,
you.
you too.
And, well, we're out of time today. Let's call it a day, shall we?
Let's
think
do
so.
it. Yep.
All right. Oh, wrong button. Coming up tomorrow, we're talking to Mike Weller. We'll bring you the sights and sounds of the APCR After Hours from Halloween. Going to be talking to Elsa United Methodist Church, and then so much more. We got a busy week, so just join me. Until then, try your best to stay out of jail.